Here with Paul Crewe, coach of the Louth under-16 development squad. Paul, fabulous win here this morning.
Happy enough with how we fared out. Suppose in the first half, it was a very helter-skelter kind of game. We played a lot of Ulster teams in the build-up this year, and we're used to kind of this more kind of structured kind of approach to playing. But Kildare kind of came out, really pressed us high, so it kind of lent itself to very counter-attack kind of football, which our boys are well capable of playing, but it was probably the first time they've seen that for a long time. And the nature of that game is it's very back and forth, and it was, it's not as warm as it was a few weeks ago, but it's still warm enough to be very draining on the lads' energy. So probably resulted in a few sloppy mistakes there in the first half, but the effort and intensity we were really happy with. We carried that forward into the second half then with just a little bit more care and thought into how we played, and really, really happy on the defensive side. To concede 7 points against any Kildare team is something to really be happy and proud of. And as a defender myself, I'm especially quite happy with that. So all in all, a good run out, but definitely lots of things to improve on.
And Paul, like many development squads, you have a lot of players in, but you seem to have a wide range of players from across the whole county, from clubs from Drogheda, Louth, Dundalk, and the Peninsula, so which is a huge plus for Louth going forward.
Yeah, no, it absolutely is. It actually is a real big plus, and I've been involved with the squad since under 14 level, and there's been always an open door in terms of the way we want to approach it. We try and look at as much club football as we can, because you get a real insight into players during that process, and then we try to have quite a meaningful kind of trial processes at the end of under 14 and under 15 to see if we can identify lads, because some lads at the age of 14 might not just be quite ready physically or whatever, but if they have that commitment to improve, and if they build out a bit physically or get over that dreaded growing spurt, which can sometimes be a hindrance, they kind of come into form. So we've always tried to do that, but look, we've a squad of about 40 now, and you could see in the second half that the squad actually really, really added to the performance. There was nothing taken away by making substitutions and switches, and there's a number of lads there who didn't get any game time who would be very disappointed, but I'm telling you, at training, all of these lads are rising the tide. And the lads who've been involved in the development squad previously have contributed so massively to that as well. So I think we can't forget any of that. And that's down to the clubs and all of the great work that's been put in as well.
Yeah, and I suppose you have three players that gained a lot of experience with the minors this year in the campaign in Connor, Fionn and Conal. And for them to come back to play this, and you can see the experience that they brought back with them to help this team as well.
Yeah, and even the lads who are in the squad as well, like Joe Matthew came into the squad, Port Maguire came into the squad, Mark Smith came into the squad. You just learn a lot being around that setup, and obviously a very good setup with Johnny and with the backroom team that he had. There's so much that can be learned from that, and then playing in those big days, even. Obviously, there were some disappointing results with the minors, but they were such a good football team to watch. There's so much that they would have been learning at training on a day-to-day basis, and they brought it in. But they complemented, I have to say, some really committed work from the players over the winter with this group. We really, really knuckled down and committed. And look, we put the stuff out there for them at trainings, but they've been just so mature in their approach to improve and to develop and to being team players, and all of the things outside of just the skills of the game. The other things you need to be an intercounty player, they've really sold out at trying to improve on that, and you can see it there in the performance.
Yeah, and yourself, Paul, you seem to be really enjoying the coaching. Like, we'd have known you over the years playing on the field yourself, but you seem to be really enjoying the coaching side of it now.
I'm still playing, Bob, now. I'm still playing just about. No, it's time for me to go with these new rules. For a 38-year-old, there's just too much running involved, so it's time to hang the boots up soon. But 3 years ago now, I was approached by Shane Lennon at the time to get involved with the under-14 development squad, and very, very exciting for me to get involved. I've coached since I was 20 within the clans, and I've coached at a range of levels, so I wanted to see if my skills on that side could in some way kind of contribute to what's going on in the development squads, and it's just such a great thriving environment to be in. Obviously, we've had Gavin Devlin who's come in, and we've learned so much from him. But even before that, there's just there's lads who are really willing to put in the work to kind of improve all the teams they're working with. So it's just a joy to come down to Dover really and be involved in that. And nights there over the winter where it's lashing rain and there's puddles in my boots and all that, but you wouldn't change it for the world, you know. So I'm humbled that I've the opportunity to work with such a talented bunch of players. And you know, we've one more game. It comes to the end of the development squad process now, like, and these boys have to move on to minor level. But like, hopefully, if we can look back and say we've contributed to them as footballers that might go on to play with Louth at different levels, but that will grace our presence at senior championship level. That's something I'll be really proud of looking back over the years if that's what transpires.
And Paul, going back to the work that's going on in Darver, inside the gates of Darver with these development squads, with the amount of coaches that's coming in and led by Gavin, and there's other guys there as well, that Pierce Cardy, the work they're doing behind the scenes. You know, it seems to be a constant rise there now.
Yeah, no, it is. It really is. And a lot of the conversations that we have amongst coaches in our own age group and in different and in the other age groups, and then with the likes of Gavin, Kieran Sloan, Barry Tell was with us in the under 14 campaign, and really we learned so much from him and his experience. Shane Lennon and now Pierce after him. It's just there's a unity in what we're doing. We're all on the same wavelength. We're all trying to, you know, develop players that have all the sets of skills, but you know, we want to try and kind of move towards a way that Louth play. That when you come out, you know that Louth, what you're going to get with Louth. And I don't mean that in terms of being predictable. I just mean that Louth footballers, you know, can they play off both feet? Do they have all the skills? Are they careful with the ball? Do they work so hard for each other? And you know, I can tell you, I played underage for Louth, and it wasn't always the case. It wasn't always the case that we'd have the back of the man in front of us or whatever. I can say that honestly looking back, but there is that real unity and cohesion within Louth, and that could be a superpower for this county, because we're not the biggest county. We all bloody know each other, and sometimes familiarity can breed contempt. But I think in the case of the way the development squads have moved forward the last few years, yeah, when we play at club level, we'll tear each other's hair out and all this kind of stuff. But when we play together, we play with a unity, and that's probably the most pleasing thing about this particular team. Yeah,
and before we go, Paul, I suppose we have to mention our sponsors like Dundalk Credit Union. Without their support and their finances, to put into player development squads, we wouldn't be able to do what we're doing in Darver.
Yeah, no, absolutely. And when you come up against other counties, whether we like it or not, lads are going to be keeping an eye on, well, what does this other county have? What way are they preparing? What things do they have that we don't have? But we never have that problem with this squad, because we're never found wanting for whatever we need. You know, whether it be, we kick 100 balls into that bloody ditch behind pitch 3, there's balls ready for us next time. Yeah. Whether it be to give the boys a bite to eat after a game or whatever, we're never found wanting in that. You know, so you know, you can't do it without sponsors, and Dundalk Credit Union have obviously been very, very supportive of this team, and long may it continue, and hopefully other people see the value of this process and put their money where their mouth is as well, if you don't mind me saying so. Yeah.
Brilliant, Paul.
Yeah, appreciate it.
Well
Thanks,
done.
Bob. Appreciate it.